Keep debating about the GOAT. I'm the one like 2, 3, 4, 5. How you playing both sides?
It's week 7 of the NFL. And coming up, we'll see Stephon Diggs. He's putting together one of the better seasons in league history. It's the Bills and the Pats on EA Sports.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Mass. Today we've got a matchup here in pivotal Week 7, as it'll be the Buffalo Bills taking on the New England Patriots. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Patriots team entering play. The losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Bills, they've got all W's on the ledger so far, a perfect 6-0.
Yeah, still a long way to go in this season, but they're showing everyone early on that they intend to be there in the end.
Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. And they will elect to not bring this one out, as our first drive will begin at the 25. The Patriots offense set to go to work with Mac Jones at quarterback in his 3rd season now out of Alabama.
He had the numbers of a game last week that if you win, you talk about him being a gritty guy, managing the game, getting it done. But they lost. So obviously 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown pass, that's not going to be good enough. Got to get that changed around.
They'll start the drive with Elliott. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. We'll get a report when we return to Foxborough. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Throwing, Jones. Got a man open. That's Devontae Parker, complete. And now a pause. It looks like we have a Patriot injured on the play. We'll get a report when we return to Foxborough. A first down carry by Elliott. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Now a stoppage here as we've got a Bill shaken up on the play. We'll get a report when we return to Foxborough. From the 48-yard line, here's the 2nd and 8. Again, it's Elliott. And he'll take it across midfield and into Buffalo territory. And despite injuries like these, Charles, with these guys missing, they've been able to keep that pursuit of perfection alive so far.
That just shows the depth that they have on the roster and the guys who are serious about being ready when their number is called. Someone goes down, someone jumps in.
Looks for Parker, and it's intercepted. Teron Johnson able to pick it. And the Bills are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield. Remember, Charles, this is the #1 defense in the NFL, and they proved their mettle here, forcing the turnover on the opening possession.
And sometimes when you play a team that has that reputation, it's earned it by their play. The psychology is, okay, they're #1. They have to prove it to us, and they tried to attack. They found out that that ranking was real.
And if history is any indication, when this defense gets off to a good start, look out.
Yeah, their offense plays off of them awfully well, too.
And here come the Bills for their first possession, led out by their 27-year-old quarterback in year 6. It's Josh Allen.
And what a first half of the season he's had, leading the NFL in passing yards to this point. He's been a tough man to slow down. So this defense certainly has its work cut out for him.
So after the INT, it's Allen. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 14 yards that time for number 14. He's a reigning AFC Offensive Player of the Week, and defensively they have to find an answer for him.
And that's what you would do if you were calling plays, right? You'd make sure that he gets targeted. But the thing about it is the route running. That's what makes him so dangerous, is because no matter what is presented defensively, he runs his route with such skill that he's able to go up and get the football first in each and every situation.
Here's 2nd and 10. Now Allen. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
But Charles, something we talked about last week, when you start believing whether you're in the midst of a special season or not. Well, now they're at 6-0. Are you still trying to tamp down the expectations in that locker room?
Well, to me, it's less about tamping down expectations and much more about not getting ahead of yourself as a team. And look, they got to play each game individually, right? Many teams talk about being 1-0 at the end of each and every game each week. To me, you got to understand you cannot win the Super Bowl in October.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Again, they'll throw with Allen. And he's got his tight end Knox for a Bills touchdown. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Bills use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one. An extra point by Bass, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And this will come out to the 25 as Jones elects for the touchback.
So back onto the field come the Pats for their 2nd drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others. Where they think they have an advantage, dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving. This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now.
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21.
Meanwhile, Jones' throw complete there to Smith-Schuster. Well, this defense for the Bills, they were very strong in the win last week over the Giants.
Yeah, we're definitely in top form and pitched a shutout, as a matter of fact. That's the cherry on top of a great week of preparation. And you know what? These guys are eager to keep it going. So motivation this week, not an issue.
Call it a gain of 4, but not enough. The punt team going to need to be summoned here on 4th down.
So on 4th down, here's Bryce Behringer on to punt for the Patriots. Deontay Hardy back deep.
Pulled in at the 24. A terrific return. 30 yards all in all. And the Bills are going to take over in great position here with a 1st and 10. Throwing now is Allen.
Man open downfield is Diggs. He's got it.
And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. Stephon Diggs with another touchdown, number 24 on the year.
And the Bills are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Boy, Charles, this offense is just so explosive. They lead the league in scoring, and another example of just how good they are right there on that play.
Yeah, we often overstate about how explosive teams are, but this team is truly a threat to score on every snap, especially on the first few plays of any series. And a big strike like that only adds to their reputation as the league's best offense.
An extra point by Bass, up and good.
And that'll make the score 14-0.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. No run back here for Jones, a touchback.
And now out come the Patriots.
And they are back down to 500 following the loss last week. Consistency has been a real issue for them so far.
Brandon, you almost don't know what team is going to show up every week. I mean, there's no consistency with this ball club at all, and if we feel that way, I know it frustrates the coaching staff, and it also has to frustrate the key leaders in the locker room. They got to figure out how to get coordinated.
The numbers for Zeke from last week. 18 carries, 63 yards.
Well, partner, we've watched as they reached 2 wins, 3 wins, 4, and then 5. And we kept questioning each week, how long can they keep this streak going? This team is rolling, and having someone like this who can really set the tone for your offense week in and week out is a big part of why they've been unbeatable as of late.
Here is 3rd down and 4. Now Jones. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
Well, based on what we've seen so far, I don't think you can even call this an off day anymore, partner, because this group we're watching, they are totally out of rhythm, trying to get their game plan up and running. That 0 on the scoreboard is glaring down at them with every incompletion.
A nice return that time of about 14 yards. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. So here are the Bills to take over. Their win streak at 6 coming in and counting as they've got the lead right now beginning this drive 1st and 10. The throw right side is complete here on the first play of the drive. Down the sideline he goes. Touchdown! Stephon Diggs with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Bills have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. Boy, still in the first quarter, and look out. I mean, they are on pace for over 80 points in this game. I don't know that they'll get there, CD, but this has been impressive to watch so far.
That certainly would be history in the making, wouldn't it, partner? I'm glad we're here to actually watch and see if it actually happens, although, like you, I have my doubts, but they are firmly in control of this game.
Extra point by Bass, up and good. And that makes the score 21-0. So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. And this will come out to the 25 as Jones elects for the touchback. New England with a 1st down as they begin the drive. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession, but I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
Start of the second quarter from Foxborough. It's the homestanding Patriots with the football, as they've got it with a 1st and 10. They keep on the ground with Elliott. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
From the 41, Jones. Oh, everything falling apart now. Another one intercepted. Teron Johnson able to pick it, and he is going to score. It's a pick 6 and a Bills touchdown. But no surprise to see that one, partner. The league's #1 defense coming through with a huge pick 6.
And it's plays like that one that made them the most feared group to face this year. Offenses, they're trying to figure out how to work around them rather than work through them. Big-time impact playmakers scattered throughout the unit on every level, and they can change a game at a moment's notice.
Bass on for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Tyler Bass to kick off for Buffalo.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. No run back here for Jones, a touchback. New England's offense set to go. And not the first time that they're coming back out off of a turnover, but the last one really hurt Charles with that pick 6.
And it feels like the whole team's infected right now, doesn't it? It's not just been one person. It's kind of been a group effort where the mistakes have happened. Can they put that aside, kind of start over, and put together a nice drive?
So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. Off the play fake, Jones.
And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far.
Tre'Davious White with a pick.
Well, I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but they're shaking a little bit. That's 3 interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
And I think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me, that he always told his teams, when a mistake happens, just move on to the next play. Let it go. Hard to do when you've thrown this many interceptions. That's exactly the attitude that has to be adopted.
The football back to the Bills and Stephon Diggs,
making his presence felt early in this one. First half, already over the century mark.
How about the yards per completion, too? That's a pretty darn good number there. Number of catches, but he's shredding defenses, getting big yardage with each and every one of them.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Yes, sir. How about an attaboy there on 1st down? Got his hand in and knocked it away.
Here comes the former Patriot. This is Damian Harris.
5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did, to get them into a manageable 3rd down, because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
Well, they got the turnover in great field position, but unable to do anything with it, and they're left taking the easy 3 on the field goal.
Yeah, you're right about that. A great chance at a short field touchdown. On a sudden change, you take the ball away. You expect your offense to put into the end zone, but they'll take the 3 for now, even if they feel just a little bit let down.
And this will come out to the 25 as Jones elects for the touchback. New England trying to get a place on offense.
They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily when you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. And this offense on 3rd down today, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This time they face a 3rd and 2. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. Now a stoppage here as we've got a Bill shaken up on the play. We'll get a report when we return to Foxborough.
Here's Bryce Baringer now.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Here's Hardy set to return. Nearly a huge return, as it is. Still a very good one. 24 yards.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
Here's Stephon Diggs as he and the rest of the offense get ready to go again. We're in the 2nd quarter. He already has 2 touchdowns. We know how good he is. That's well documented. How do you contain him?
We know he's a nightmare. So in this situation, I would go ahead and double him. Maybe even have a 3rd person in the area and try and dissuade them from throwing him the football. Make someone else beat me for a while, because I don't know that their talents are his, because when he gets his hands on the ball, he breaks down my entire D. Someone else, they may not make the same type of a play.
Well, we know his talents are very good. It'll be a 16-yard loss on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd down and very long. Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
He'll air this one out deep for Davis.
That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And the Patriots take over. They're going to have terrific field position.
Here's Jones on first down. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. Shoves him away. And down inside the 15 he goes. That'll be a New England first down, a gain of 12.
That's good for the Patriots. First and 10 at the 14.
Operating from the gun, Jones.
Yeah, that went too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
Well, this defense is certainly organized and playing off of each other because the rush is providing pressure and the coverage is forcing incompletions and capitalizing on mistakes. When you get every level on defense.
And this is going to be intercepted. Tre'Davious White with a pick. Now Tre'Davious White on the return.
And the Bills are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line.
Charles, not only is that an interception, it's one when you were really knocking on the door for a touchdown inside the red zone.
You're actually thinking points. No matter what, at worst, you're thinking kicking a field goal and getting 3. We might look back on this in the second half and say, you remember when they didn't get points on that drive? This could cost them.
The Bills going to take over now late in this first half. And just inside of a minute left, Charles, they got a pretty long field ahead of them. I'm curious to see how they play this, but you would think definitely enough time to at least try to get 3 out of this.
Yeah, you want to move with a nice sense of pace. You want to up the tempo a little bit.
That's caught at the 25. A big play there just before halftime. 42 yards.
Already over 1,000 yards receiving this season. That catch is just going to add to his total. Certainly not resting on his laurels. He's trying to continue to gain as many yards as possible and continue this big season.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for first and 10. Here's Allen to throw it.
He will find Diggs in the end zone. Touchdown, Buffalo.
Stephon Diggs on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns.
And the Bills will extend their lead here just before halftime. Here's Bass now for the extra point.
And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25.
The Pats at the line, ready to go.
And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Jones now on first and 10. And oh my goodness, here's a 5th interception. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
Well, there's 2 sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough. But, man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it, and I think about it awfully hard. But also, you might want to look into his eyes, see what he has. He might be one of those players that you don't want to affect his confidence by actually pulling him out of the game. So you have to know your player. You have to know the situation.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. A lot to get to here as some of the division races starting to take shape as we look around the NFL here in week number 7. We'll get our tour started out at Venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. And they are seconds away from halftime, all tied in that one. From there, we'll make the trip down to Indianapolis to check on the Colts at home at Lucas Oil Stadium. And for the moment, they trail the visiting Browns in that one. Nick Chubb has a touchdown run. Lastly, let's get you to MetLife Stadium to see what's happening with the Giants at home in East Rutherford. As you can see the score there, in the second quarter. Terry McLaurin, a touchdown catch in that first half. The highlights from the first half, all one-sided. This one got out of hand early, and now you have to wonder how these teams will approach this second half, because this one's already close to being in the bag, if it's not already. Final adjustments being made for the second half. Whether they'll amount to much in a game that's already pretty well decided, well, that's another question. Nevertheless, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
On the return, Deontay Hardy. Now Hardy on the return. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. And now a pause. It looks like we have a Patriot injured on the play. We'll get a report when we return to Foxborough. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. On play action, Allen going deep for Diggs. Oh, and that is incomplete.
I like the fact that he took the shot deep downfield. Even if you don't get the catch, maybe you get a defensive penalty and pick up the yardage that way.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. To the air, Allen. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
Well, so far on this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
Going deep for Diggs. It's caught inside the 25. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. Stephon Diggs. An 80-yard touchdown. And the Bills just continue to roll. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. No run back here for Jones, a touchback. So here are the Patriots now. They get ready for their first possession of half number 2. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. Had one tell me once, when we're having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And if we kept having a rough patch, he said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. Well, following the play now, they're going to stop the clock here as a man is shaken up. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. A give to Elliott running left. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
That was a pretty good job defensively to hold them to a 2-yard run. But I've got to think this offensive line, they're asking their quarterback for a different type of a run, one that they rely on, one they have confidence in, one they feel like they can block.
Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. A 3rd down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
I'm getting the sense that this offense is getting frustrated. Here we are into the 3rd quarter, and they've had plenty of opportunities to get in sync. Thus far, that hasn't happened. They're looking for answers both on the sidelines and in the huddle looking at each other.
On the return, Hardy. A good return there, 17 yards. And that will come the offense as they take over. And now we move our focus to Stephon Diggs. What a game for him, Charles. 4 touchdowns. Heck, for a lot of guys, that's a good season number.
You're exactly right. And let's face it, we have to stand up and applaud this one, even though we're supposed to be neutral, because this doesn't just happen by accident. This isn't 4 times where the defense just falls down or breaks coverage. He's worked awfully hard, changing routes, changing areas, changing angles, and getting open for touchdowns.
We knew he'd be part of the game plan in a big way, and it has been in a very big way. A 2nd and 10 now. 3rd quarter action from Foxborough. Allen now looks to throw. Uncorks one for Davis. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down.
Well, you've certainly got to be on your toes defensively when you're facing Josh Allen. He can hit you from any angle. He's got arguably the strongest arm in the business, and he uncorks a deep one here. But that one falls incomplete.
Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. Touchdown, Bills. Stephon Diggs, 67 yards. And the Bills extend their lead yet again. And that touchdown reception is the 5th for him in this game, and that ties the NFL record.
And a record that's held up since 1950. This is another person that's tied it, but think about this. Bob Shaw said it in 1950. Kellen Winslow came along and tied it. And then, of course, Jerry Rice tied it as well. And finally, we're seeing it here one more time. Phenomenal.
And now Sean McDermott's made the call. They'll go for 2. They're going to run it with Harris. And, boy, talk about adding insult to injury. He's into the end zone to tack on 2 more.
And now a pause. It looks like we have a Patriot injured on the play.
We'll get a report when we return to Foxborough.
Tyler Bass to kick off for Buffalo.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And this will come out to the 25 as Jones elects for the touchback. Well, the Patriot offense back out, getting set to go. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. Or win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles. But I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. Over the middle, hauled in by Smith-Schuster. And he will have a Patriots first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Jones. And they take him down. The Bills get to him. Daquan Jones fighting his way home to get the sack. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Another try after the first down sack. Jones. And he's going to go down again. Shaq Lawson in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Foxborough. The offense on third down, they've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This will be 3rd and forever. Operating from the gun, Jones. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Brought down by multiple defenders, and it's a loss of 12.
But when this game is done, the credit will go to the consistent pressure on the quarterback as a huge cause of this win. Most teams are happy if they get a few of these games per year. You know they're going to watch this tape over and over, try to identify what's working, and keep it going.
The Patriots send out their punter, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And it's fielded at the 34. That'll be a 50-yard punt with 8 on the return.
And they will take over 1st and 10. The football back to the Bills and Stephon Diggs.
And we get a peek at the kind of game he's having. It's been a good game. 8 catches now, Charles.
Everyone likes to spread the ball around. They want a lot of people to catch it and touch it, get a lot of guys involved. But sometimes when you have the hot hand or a person.
And this is taken in at the 5. Touchdown. Stephon Diggs. 58 yards.
And the Bills add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week.
Well, when coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all three phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we haven't been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
An extra point by Bass, up and good.
And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. No run back here for Jones, a touchback.
And the Patriots gearing up to go now.
Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games, and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. Back to throw. Jones. That one completes. Elliott. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 11, he goes down. An extra defensive back here for the Bills on third down. Looking to throw. Jones. And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. Now a stoppage here as we've got a Bill shaken up on the play. We'll get a report when we return to Foxborough. Now the free kick comes after the safety from the 20 as they bring the punter on to try and get some hang time here. Fielded at about the 28. Here's Stephon Diggs as he and the rest of the offense get ready to go again. And he is just one reception away from 10 in this game. I don't know what they need to do defensively, but something has to be altered, does it not?
I know that whenever we tried to cover a person who's having a game like this, you're trying to vary what you're doing, trying to change things up.
And this is caught inside the 5. And he's in for the score. And his spectacular season continues as he ties the NFL touchdown record.
He is phenomenal.
Extra point by Bass, up and good.
And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And this will come out to the 25 as Jones elects for the touchback.
So the Patriots coming out now.
And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Back to throw. Jones. And now here's another interception. Tre'Davious White with a pick. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line.
Historically, this is such a tough, loud venue, but you can hear a pin drop right now. A lot of fans long gone, not used to seeing a lopsided.
And got his man complete. And that is caught. And the record is his. It's a touchdown.
Another touchdown here in the fourth quarter, and Charles, I think we can start to consider that this undefeated streak of theirs is going to be safe for another week.
And, partner, you don't make it this far into a season without a loss unless you're getting contributions from both sides of the ball and sometimes even your special teams, and that's been true today. Each side helping guide them to this late lead.
Tyler Bass now for the point after.
Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Well, the offense wasn't out there for a long time, but they were out there for a good time. One play, and they're able to hit pay dirt.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. No run back here for Jones, a touchback. New England's offense set to go. At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the fourth quarter, facing the big deficit. What silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny, I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario, like what feels good to you and what feels good to your team. You're down big. You really have like one possession left, and you're trying to put points on the board that don't matter. But do they? And he told me they actually do matter. And in this situation, he's going to try and run the best offense he can run to have at least a little bit of confidence to take away from that game. So right now, they're going to try their best to get something up on the board and not get shut out.
And the Bills are going to get him as he goes down. A.J. Epinesa, the one credited for the sack. Work now for Jones and the Patriots here after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Now Jones, off play action. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. The Patriots send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. And he'll take it just outside the 40. It's a 42-yard punt. They keep him to just a yard on the return. Buffalo offense back out ready to go. Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate. But we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way that this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, business as usual for them. Well on their way to another victory. Riding a serious wave of momentum from what we've seen. And so far, they haven't met their match. So if you're going to play this team in the future, your mission is clear. You better be ready to play and match their firepower.
Bass on for the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. And this will come out to the 25 as Jones elects for the touchback. And now out come the Patriots. I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the fourth quarter. They're just trying to erase that 0 on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum to carry into the film session tomorrow.
If you get any type of points on the board, it'll count as a moral victory, although no one will talk about that in the post-game press conference. That's not something you mentioned in the NFL. And this loss, it already stings and will for a while. But everyone on that offense knows it'll sting a lot.
And my goodness, another interception. Tre'Davious White with a pick. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line.
At the 26-yard line.
And Allen is actually going to throw it here. This is caught. And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds. A good pickup there at 22. And now it appears that the referee's been buzzed, and we'll get a review. And this being inside 2 minutes of play, everything coming from up above. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call. So the folks in New York just going to wind up confirming. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Even though they've got this big advantage, Charles, they are not taking their foot off the gas pedal right now.
Well, I think what we're seeing is the result of all their great preparation and great practice time during the week. And even though it seems like this is a great chance to pull people back and maybe, not try and score a few more times, they don't want to do that. I think they're enjoying what they're seeing, the collective effort, and they want to play it all the way out.
An extra point by Bass, up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead.
Tyler Bass to kick off for Buffalo.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. No run back here for Jones, a touchback. New England trying to get a place on offense. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Jones off the play fake. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
And we'll see what he can do on the return. A nice return that time, gets 12 yards back. And the Bills getting set to go. And they hope to polish things off. And what a run they are on as they try to turn a 6-game win streak into a 7-game win streak. So good field position for the Bills as they come up 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Going deep for Diggs. And this is caught. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Well, when they said before the game that they were going to try and execute every second of this contest, I guess that was taken literally, because here they are in the final moments of the fourth, putting another touchdown on the board, Charles, to add to this big lead.
I'm not a big believer in 110%, but it certainly applies here, doesn't it? Because some guys just can't go with less. As long as there's time left on the clock, they're pushing to get to the end zone one more time. They don't really care about what the optics show. They just want to finish the game off the way that they like to play it. Full speed, all out.
And they are just not going to let up as he is into the end zone here for 2 more.
Tyler Bass to kick off for Buffalo.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And this will come out to the 25 as Jones elects for the touchback. New England with a first down as they begin the drive. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. So it's a victory here for the Buffalo Bills. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense through the shutout, Adam. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one, and that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, up a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for the Bills, their winning ways continue as they get it up to 7-0, and they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for New England, they fall a game under the 500 mark at 3-4 through 7 games. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head down to Miami to take on the Dolphins. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.
I'm really just getting started. You only witnessed the tease. 10,000 steps ahead as I choke on it. 2017 was my moment of truth.